Hello. Nice to meet all of you. No, I'm not really showing myself. No reason to show myself. I just wanted to share my story and let everybody know what's going on in this world. And those of us that have read the Bible or were raised in church, you can pretty much figure out what's going on by just YouTubing the weather. Just what's happened here recently. It's kind of a nightmare to most of us. The tsunamis and tornadoes and all the bad things going on in the world, the flooding, volcanoes going off in different places at the same time, and all this beauty just shot with buildings and chaos. But there are still some beautiful places left in this world. And this is one of my happy spots. It's very close to my home and I absolutely love it here. So this is where I decided to come to tell you my story. Alright, I was raised in church, and as I got older I decided to find my own path. I decided to look for a religion that I felt was the quote-unquote right religion, and therefore I studied all these different religions. I learned about the religion, got baptized in the religion. I didn't have the money for the colleges and stuff to learn about religion, but I was very interested in knowing why every religion thought that they were the ones going to heaven. And I've just learned your personal relationship with God's what's going to end you in heaven. It's not the religion, as long as you're a Christian. All of us Christians, we all want the same thing. We want to go home someday. Some believe in the rapture, some don't. Some believe Jesus and God were the same, some don't. My personal opinion and views on that's not important at the moment, for the simple fact that, well, I guess it is. I believe that, that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and that God lived in him when he lived on the earth, and I believe that the Holy Spirit is the Spirit of God. Many big people believe different, and I don't, your opinions are just, welcome, but I'm just telling you what, I know that the different beliefs, I'm just saying that's kind of what I've come to the conclusion of what I believe. But anyway, Jesus came to me after a brain aneurysm surgery, one of many. But after the last one that I had here a couple months ago, actually it's been about 4 months ago now, that night after the surgery, I heard somebody come into this apartment in my dream that I don't really even live at. And, but in my dream, I guess I did or knew somebody there, I don't know. Some guy come in and said, "You need to come out here and see this. The kids at the school next door, they're floating up in the sky." And I was like, "No way!" And I ran and I got to the roof of the building that I was at so I could check it out. Isn't that beautiful? What a beautiful view. And not trying to blind you, but anyway, I ran to the roof to check it out, and when I did, there was nobody floating anymore, and I says, "Oh no, I guess I missed it." And so I looked straight up into the sky, and there were clouds, and they parted, and in those parted clouds was Jesus himself from the waist up. I saw I don't remember the eye color, but I saw him in this white robe and in this sash that went over him, a scarlet colored sash. And he had like the heart that you would see on the statues or some pictures of Jesus in the Catholic religion. Although I'm not Catholic, nor I'm not a believer in bowing down to statues, etc. I'm not going to get into all that. But he had that sacred heart that he had for the Catholic religion on their statues and stuff. And he had like this cinched waistline. I didn't really see like a belt, but it was like cinched around his waist. But it was all white except for that scarlet covered sash once again, like you would see in the Catholic religion. Anyway, he spread his arms out like to accept me and smiled at me. And I had my arms raised to him and smiled, and I was zooming up into the sky close enough that I could see his face. I saw his hair color. I saw him. I can't remember his eye color. I just remember seeing him smiling at me and being thrilled that I was going. Now, I've had a couple rapture dreams in my lifetime, 2 or 3 probably in my entire lifetime. I always missed the rapture. This was the first one that I made it. I made it in the rapture. But I woke up as soon as I got close to Jesus' face, which was really heartbreaking to me. But because now I'm here again and wondering and worrying, will I make it this time? Will I make it for real, rather? But I thanked God for the dream pretty much and told my family about it, because my dad, he's a former Pentecostal minister. Another reason why I seeked different religions. I just didn't think that God was that merciless that if we made a mistake that he would just condemn us to hell. And I found as long as you truly ask God for forgiveness, he does forgive you. But on with what I'm talking about. About a week or so later, I watched an inspirational show, and I don't know if any of you have seen it, but I do recommend it. And he's not necessarily preaching Christian views and sometimes says a cuss word or whatever. He's got his own beliefs, but I do like his inspirational messages. And I was watching it, Infinite Waters, Diving Deep. I really enjoy watching his programs. They're quite inspirational. But anyway, going on with my story. After I got done watching, like, the first one I'd ever seen of that, I made it to the bedroom and going to bed, and the Lord brought up something that I'd mentioned when I was a kid. I said, I want to be a missionary someday. And then I had children pretty young, and I told the Lord, well, I want to be a missionary someday,